What's up, Samurai? We are back in some more Wayfinder. Do I do my Trove intro with it? It kind of works. But anyways, okay, so I gotta preface this video by letting you guys know a couple things. More notably, how characters being added to this game are going to end up working. Basically, new characters and weapons will be added every battle pass. Right now, we've got the Venomous Battle Pass, which is going to go on for a total of 3 months before it finally cycles over to the next Battle Pass, which is going to end up having the new character, Grendel, which we'll talk about today, and a new weapon, which is going to end up being a two-handed mace. Now, I want to kind of deep dive into the ramifications of that and talk a little bit about live service games and so on and so forth. But for the most part, I just wanted to mention that it is going to end up being a 3-month gap before we have the Season 2 Battle Pass, and then another 3 months before Season 3. Now, when the Season 3 Battle Pass starts, this game will already be in 2024. And free to play is coming to this game in 2024. Now, whether or not we're going to see this game go free to play right at the start of 2024 on Season 3 of the Battle Pass remains to be seen. Hopefully it does, but I wouldn't be surprised if we go a couple months into next year. Anyways, this is going to end up being the newest character. I'm not a fan of his style by any means, but there is some coolness factor to the fact that he is not human. I really, really like that because I feel like a lot of games will be very, very careful and kind of very, what's the opposite of based? You know, like I think that it's really cool and based. That's a Zoomer word you guys like, right? When characters will actually break expectations and do something just for the sake of being cool and never mind the rest. Because we've never really seen a beast class or even a beast character that you interact with in this game. But as you'll see, people have not only data mined all the Wayfinders themselves, which funny enough, we have Props and Laura sitting here as well. I don't know who the hell they are, so we'll see what happens with that. But early access sneak peek trailer has Grendel kind of in the background behind this arm right here. And then the Steam library hero background also has Grendel right here. So that's pretty cool. I always kind of had a feeling that they referenced characters that weren't out yet in their media, and I think that that's really cool moving forward. We definitely got to keep that in mind. So this is going to end up being his base style right here, and then this I assume is going to end up being the cash shop style because it's a Grendel Gold Wolf variation. Again, I'm not the biggest fan of this character style in general, and I'm not really into the whole, like, you know, furball like character type thing. He looks like Beauty and the Beast to me. Maybe that's why I don't like him. Again though, I think it's really, really cool that we've got a character so out of left field like him, even if he's got a similar structure to your boy Wingrave. Now, it does say that he is a War Master and a Berserker. So War Master, for those of you who don't know, basically the characters in this game kind of fall under specific archetypes, and those archetypes have a lot of similarities between each other. So a War Master, Senja is a War Master, for example, right? So we are going to end up having similar weapon mastery, similar dodge animations and stuff like that. But anyways, him being a Berserker has me wonder, okay, what's the translation of that? Is this going to end up being a character that builds up momentum as he attacks? When he's at low health, does he get more damage? Does he have something that can negate damage? Or is he going to be a character that has lifesteal? I don't know. I think it would be really cool if his abilities was him like clawing at the air or something, or maybe he could go on all fours and truly embrace being like a beast character. I don't know. This is all just speculation. But moving on, his weapon is going to end up being a two-handed mace. Now, the two-handed mace is going to end up being all of these bad boys right here. Now, the thing is with all of these, that is both strange and exciting, is anyone who's played the beta version of this game, you recognize this mace right here, because this bad boy was a craftable item during the beta, which it wasn't in the press release of the game, but it is also even not in the full release of the game. So interesting in that regard. This one right here with the little skull, I am actually rocking that as a two-handed cosmetic over my axe right now. So I guess some of these are just skins. I don't know. But to further push the point that this is a weapon that was in the game's code but never came out at full release, there was actually a couple weapons that I talked about during the press release of this game. You know, you guys have probably already seen my videos focusing on all the different weapons and so on and so forth. And we actually had the axe that you would throw and it would spin around in circles with a vortex. That axe is not currently in the game. There's quite a few weapons that I ended up talking about in those videos that never ended up making it into full release. So I'm very curious to see where they will show up and whether or not they're going to end up lazily throwing those into the game way further into the future because they're going to have them as a weapon that comes with a certain class. Now, speaking of weapons that come with a class, I think it's kind of strange, but makes sense that we're already seeing yet another two-handed weapon variation come into the game, which means this is more than likely going to end up having the same animations as the axes and the scythe. I don't know if that's true. Maybe we'll end up having a whole unique animation. Maybe they'll do like a spin to win attack where our character will spin around like an idiot with it. Could be cool. But this kind of goes hand in hand with the game being live service. Now, this is a topic that I wanted to touch on a little bit, but for those of you that just wanted all the leaks and all the goodness, that's basically it. There's not really anything else to say. But as far as a live service game, basically this game probably already has season 1, 2, maybe even season 3's content ready to go. Like, it's in the oven, it's baked, it's done. But rather than giving it to us, they've got the oven set to low to keep it warm so that they can just pump it out at their scheduled timeline. And that is to have player retention, because right now they've got the content is basically padded out with a sheer amount of grind time required in order to get all the different weapons free to play, but also just gaining XP to level up your characters and so on and so forth. It's very, very slow right now because it coincides with the fact that there is a sheer lack of content at the moment. So they designed the game in such a way so that around the 3-month mark, they know that a casual player, such as myself, is probably going to start getting bored with the game, and then they influx that new meal and, you know, they inject it into our veins and say like, hey, you know what? Here's the new battle pass that you can grind, right? Now, there is this is both a blessing and a curse, because I think that Wayfinder's design philosophy of adding new characters that will have actual functionality and new weapons to the battle pass, I think that's great. Every 3 months adding a new class, like, that's the most interesting thing that you could possibly do with a game like this, especially being an RPG, because you want to grind, you know, at least I do. And having a new character to grind is far more exciting than well, then not. I don't know. It does mean that the characters might end up becoming horribly unbalanced, but we'll see what happens with it. It's more than likely going to end up being, you know, similar to Warframe, where we'll just have tons and tons of different characters added in. And then eventually when that gets stagnant, they can start adding heroic characters into the game, which are basically primed version of characters. Right now we have heroic Kairos, but we will possibly see heroic Wingrave and Mace and Grendel and all that stuff like much further down the line. Now, I don't know whether or not they're going to end up being paid only, but the funny thing is I wanted to bring up the roadmap here, because the roadmap kind of mentions a few things, but it's a little bit unorthodox to try and read all of this stuff. So most notably, I noticed this right here with Heroic Wayfinder. So Heroic Kairos is our first heroic, and heroics are a look into what the gloom is capable of twisting. Heroic Kairos exists in another version of Evenor, but has been pulled to this reality and comes with enhanced echo capacity and additional stats. We'll explore these strange regions and realities with interesting and often odd takes on heroes you know and love. All heroics in the future will be obtainable via play. So Heroic Kairos is apparently going to be the only one that you have to spend money, and all the other ones we should be able to grind. We'll see what happens with that. The roadmap itself is actually kind of interesting. We see that they want to add different custom personas to our characters and stuff, inspecting other players, which, you know, coincides with the problematic issue that they had with this game and patched, where basically the game, similar to Diablo 4, was loading everyone's inventory in the area. And I was just like, why? Why do devs always do this? And then it's like, oh, well, because they want you to be able to inspect them. And then, of course, you know, we got mounts coming and so on and so forth. A hook shot for traversal mechanics, that could be interesting. Respecking should be better. Daily login rewards are coming, which kind of knew that. Anyways, moving back to the main point of this being live service. So basically, because they have season 1 and 2 most definitely guaranteed ready to go out the door, this gives the developers time to work on the new content, which is more than likely going to be from season 3 and up. They might already have season 3 ready to go. God, that guy's got some swag. I like your look, man. But yeah, so just to say that we're going to start seeing more interesting mechanics and so on and so forth from the newer content, because the developers themselves are going to progressively get better at designing different things in this game. Anyways, I just wanted to have that as kind of my 2 cents and just let you guys know my thoughts towards it all. I, again, think that it's actually a really, really good system in place for the monetization. You know, I'm perfectly fine with spending like 10, 20 bucks every battle pass to get new characters and stuff. Not exactly sure if I want to buy the big boy pass that would end up gaining me the weapon and stuff like that. But at the very least, right now, a lot of us already have the premium version of the Venomous Pass. And we'll end up having the premium version of the next pass, so now you can look forward to Grendel and his two-handed mace. However, like I said, with the two-handed mace being the next weapon, I think it's kind of weird that we've got more two-handed weapons than faster, you know, one-handed weapons, or even like the daggers and stuff. Like, it's interesting, and I'm excited to see where they go with it, because while Grendel is a very unorthodox character in that he is a beast and not human, I'm curious to see where they'll go with the weapons in the game, because that's kind of where I think things would be the most interesting. I still want my samurai with a katana, I swear to God. Anyways, thanks for watching. Smash like, sub for more, buy the merch you want, support the channel, and have a wonderful day.